Hey there, Mavericks! Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to be with you on this journey, whatever that journey may be. For me, and for many of you, I think it's $1 million 2019. The more we say it, the more it's gonna happen, right? That's what I believe. Where are we today? We are on step 4, which is show up. A little recap on the 5 steps of turning your network into net worth. 1, we identified our target markets. We also identified our target market, and our streams of references, where they're coming from. So we're going to identify those so that we can then later research the events that all of those different people and streams go to, because those are the networking events you want to be at. Those are the people you're going to want to connect with. Don't forget to also identify your own interests, your passions, because you're going to be passionate about that, and people are attracted to people that are passionate, that have that exuberance for life. So you're going to make more connections when you're doing something that makes you feel more fulfilled and excited. Then 2, you're going to research these events. You can go online, Facebook groups, Eventbrite, meetups, ask around, look at the Networking Maverick page, see what's going on. Maybe our newsletter has something in it that might interest you. And then you're going to step 3, create a plan. Last time we talked about creating this plan, writing it down. You can do different plans for each event. Most importantly, you want to set those goals. You want to write down the people and some commonalities or interests that you might have with those people that you want to meet and engage with. You want to have your pitch that's really tailored to those events, ready to go. Feel very comfortable with it so you can relax when you show up, number 4. And then next week we'll be talking about the follow-up, the key to solidifying those relationships. So let's dive right in. Number 4, show up. This may be the 4th step, but it's really half the battle, almost all the battle. If you don't show up, you're not making any connections. That's just common sense. If you're not going to go to the event, it's, I would say, next to impossible. I'm not gonna say impossible. It's possible. It might be, there's some way, maybe you somehow get an email from the event afterwards from someone that attended that doesn't know you weren't there. But showing up really is so important. I know that life happens. There are sometimes I can't make it to an event or I show up late. I get really flustered when that happens. But if it's habitual, if you find yourself saying, wow, the last 4 networking events that I was supposed to attend, or 4 events in general, I had to reschedule or I missed because of last minute issues, I'd really stay curious about that, because it might not be that this is a one-time thing, and you need to really look at your mindset, what your goals are, what your drive is, what's preventing you from helping yourself, from turning that network into net worth, what's preventing you from moving forward to being the kick-ass individual that you can be, right? So you're going to show up to these events. You're going to get in the right mindset. I say it all the time, PMA, positive mental attitude. If you're not in the right mindset, it doesn't matter what tools and resources I'm giving you. I could drag you to the event and force you to show up. But if you're not in the right mindset, you're not going to engage. You're not going to make those connections. Your true self, your authentic self isn't going to shine through. It's just what it is, unfortunately. You're going to come off maybe robotic or fake or inauthentic, rude. Oof. You gotta be in the right mindset. You gotta keep that PMA going in. You don't want to feel overwhelmed. I think that that's actually one of the reasons people fail to network or network more effectively, because they get overwhelmed at the thought of going to these events and seeing all these people, being in a room, a crowd, like a sea of faces that I don't know. I mean, just saying it, I'm getting a little scared, right? Like you're getting overwhelmed by this picture of 1,000 faces. I was at the 10X conference a while ago, and I think it was marketed as the world's largest entrepreneurial conference. There's 30,000 people. And yeah, that's if your mindset is, wow, I'm gonna walk into a stadium of people and I have to meet all of them and I have to connect with all of them, you're gonna get exhausted just thinking about it. Don't have that mindset. We planned ahead of time. In the last step, we plan your goal. Just make 3 meaningful connections. That's it. It could even be the speaker The organizers, an honoree, it doesn't need to be 3 new people that you know nothing about and you don't know their faces. You can see these people ahead of time on social media, so you can feel more comfortable knowing a little bit about them and engaging with them. I like to say show up early. To me, it's less overwhelming when I show up early because there's less people usually, especially in Miami. Everyone runs a little bit late. So when I show up, even just on time, I'm early. But I like to show up a little bit early. I think it sends a message that I care about the presenters and the event, that I take the time to properly plan and manage, block schedule my time or manage my time to get anywhere I need to go. Deference and respect to all the individuals that I'm going to be connecting with. And I think it just overall is easier at the beginning when there's less people, less cliques have formed. So if you've been to a lot of bigger networking events, something that happens throughout the evening is people pair off. You make these connections, or maybe you see someone else that you know. You're naturally going to want to gravitate to those people that you have similarities with or you already knew ahead of time, and cliques form. That becomes intimidating. If you are new to the networking scene, or you're just maybe more introverted in general, walking up to a group of 4 people or 5 people is a lot more intimidating than it is just to walk up to 2 people at the beginning, or maybe one person that's kind of walking in between the bar and the main event, helping set up. I've sometimes showed up at events where I'm like, do you need help? Do you need help finishing? I arrived too early. Do you want me to help put out chairs or flyers? And sometimes they really appreciate it. Sometimes like, no, get out of here. And I'm like, what are you doing? But other times like, wow, that's really nice. I would love for you to help. And I talk with them while I'm helping them set up. So not only am I adding value for their event, helping them set up, but I'm gaining a valuable insight into how these events were set up and who's going to be there. And maybe they give me little pearls of wisdom that I wouldn't otherwise have gotten when the event already started, because they're going to be pulled in 1,000 different directions. So showing up early is definitely one of those strategies that I would use, especially if you're new to the networking scene. But then you have to be comfortable networking with the bigger names of the event, with the organizers. Don't let that intimidate you. You're amazing. You're awesome. Everyone should want to get to know you and feel you in your authentic personality shine through. Right? That's what I'm here for. I want you to know you're enough and you're amazing and you can do this. These steps are going to help you feel more confident. Showing up early is going to help with that. Remembering, staying positive, keeping that PMA, knowing you're awesome is also going to help. Just think of my voice, like you're amazing. You like that song? Like just think that's what's going to happen when you enter a room. That's the song that happens. I'm amazing. Like that's literally, I'll just be there. If you want, call me, slide into those DMs. I'll show up at your event and I'll say it as you enter a room. Try me, take me up on that challenge. But I think that if you hear that, maybe you'll smile, you'll relax a little bit, maybe you get a little chuckle, and you'll feel more relaxed immediately. I would say also, if you're going to, if this is your first foray into networking, one of the groups that I'm a part of that I actually really like and I think is beneficial is BNI. Business Networking International. I think it gets a bad rap because it's early morning meetings and it's very, very highly structured. And so it's not for everyone. And honestly, I didn't know if it was going to be for me at the beginning, but I joined this past year and I absolutely love it. I love the people. I love that you meet weekly. It's kind of a forced relationship that you're going to form. You have social events outside of it, but you have to do these one-to-ones. It provides a lot of guideposts for you actually that you should implement in all your networking, regardless of whether you're in BNI or not. So a lot of strategies that they have, I actually like to use as well. But I think one of the other beautiful, beautiful parts of this is that for people that don't like networking and finding your own events and going out and making those connections, it's perfect for you. You're going to get to be part of a BNI group that you're going to see weekly. It's forced. You're going to go. They're going to teach you how to do your 30-second commercial. You're going to be able to hone them so you can use it out at other events. You're going to start to become more comfortable with showing up with visitors that come in that you're going to have to meet and pitch yourself to and talk to. You're going to go on one-to-ones. You're going to go on these one-on-ones with people that you've seen weekly to develop those connections and engage more authentically. So it's a really great beginner's networking, I would say. I mean, it's just good for any stage, but I think especially for those that are just want to dip their toe into the water of networking, it's really beneficial for that because it gives you a preferred referral network right off the bat. You're going to connect with minimum 10, 15, 20 people weekly. So you develop a little bit of a family. So don't underestimate BNI, and don't underestimate online networking. This is so new age. I mean, I'm doing it more and more because I found it so beneficial in the last couple of years. But we all know social media has its benefits and drawbacks, right? It's caused a lot of pushback for body image issues and bullying online, anonymous bullying, cyber attacks and all that jazz. But some of the beauty of the internet is that we're able to connect with people around the globe on our phones now. We can just be on our phones looking at a live stream of someone in Australia, Japan, England, Brazil, Chile, like Canada. I love my Canadians, right? But all over the world, you can be connecting with people in the palm of your hand. And enough people aren't really taking advantage of that. So you gotta, when you're looking at these competitors, so we talked a little bit earlier about looking at your competitors to find out what your target market might be or gaps that they're not serving in the marketplace that you're going to be entering into. That's going to be your niche. A part of that is seeing who's commenting, who's engaging with your competitors, who's engaging with you on social media, looking them up. And maybe they're hosting an event, maybe they're doing a live stream, maybe they have a story and an inspirational quote. You can comment on that, you can interact with them, you can develop these nice connections online. Honestly, you can just support each other and build community without needing to meet each other. You can also send things easier. So if I see a quote that I think will really inspire someone or that they need it or that made me think of them, I just send it. It's a nice little reminder to them that I think about them, and it also maybe reconnects us about whatever they're doing. And I'm also there for all my ladies. I have my ladies ledger ladies that are doing so many things in our community that I want to be a part of, and they always show up for me, so I try to show up for them. So it's all about showing up. Showing your support online is huge. So don't just show up at events, show up for your friends, show up for your connections, show up for your network, because that's gonna build value for you and your entire persona and social credibility, because you're showing up, you're putting your money where your mouth is. Not only are you developing this network, but you're showing up for your network. That's what it's all about, rising each other up and supporting each other in the community by showing up for each other online as well. So don't underestimate those live streams, interacting with people in the chat. Whenever I'm in a live stream that I interacted a lot with, and I see someone else that, you know, made me laugh or told a joke, or I thought maybe I had a commonality with, sometimes I'll DM them after. Sometimes I don't get a response, but sometimes it creates a great friendship. Don't forget though, the best way to solidify that relationship with someone you're meeting or talking to online is to actually meet them in real life, IRL, as the online community likes to say, right? In real life, meet them. Maybe they're gonna be in your area soon, or you're gonna be at a similar event. Maybe you're planning to go to one of those bigger international events and you saw this other person that you met online is also gonna be there. What a great way to reconnect with them and be like, oh my God, I can't wait to see you. Let's plan to do XYZ while we're there. Anything, you know, any tips that you've been there before, anything that can add value to that person. The same goes for Facebook groups. So I'm a part of a lot of different Facebook groups and I don't actively engage in all of them, but I have noticed the ones that I engage with the most are the groups that I get the most feedback from and the groups that I've formed the most relationships with. I'm in another group called Las Comadres and also the Style Collective. Both of those communities are so supportive of each other and the women in them, and it's just so inspirational to see what they're doing. Even if I can't actively engage, I can still see it, and it makes me smile and it makes me reminded of why I'm doing this in my job, both as a lawyer and as Networking Maverick. And I think it's so great that those communities are out there and we can engage with them. And you can take a step back sometimes if you need to, but you can also actively engage with women around the world that are gonna support you. You know, not just women, men too. We need those men. Shout out to the men watching this too. We need you. We love your support. Thank you so much. And without my parents, both my parents, my mom and my dad, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So engaging with those online groups, so important and invaluable to just boosting your social credibility, but also showing everyone that you're willing to show up for them and for those groups. So keep doing that. Another way to facilitate the ease of showing up is to block schedule. We talked a little bit earlier in another video about theming your weeks. You can theme your months, you can theme days, but it just makes it easier overall for you to plan into your schedule like, oh, my mental state for this week, yes, I'm seeing 2 different clients, but I know I'm gonna be going to creative events. So let me have my plan of attack for the week. I know that my elevator pitch is gonna be geared toward creatives. Boom. I have it. Now you're gonna feel more comfortable, confident. You're gonna go into that event like, hello, here I am. You're gonna be great. But if you theme those weeks, it's gonna be much easier mentally to prep for them. I can't say it enough. Breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Take a deep breath in before you go into that event, before I go on stage, before I talk. Breathing is so important. I learned a lot about mindfulness when I was in law school from a professor of mine, Scott Rogers, who pioneered mindfulness in the law. And because lawyers are in such a high stress profession, it's really, really important that we stay grounded and that we don't let the everyday stresses kind of spiral us out of control. We need to be proactive instead of reactive. One of the ways I found that really helped me from that mindfulness and that I still implement to this day is breathing exercises. Taking a nice deep breath, focusing on yourself before you go in. It really centers you. It's gonna make you feel calm because I get a lot of adrenaline. I don't know about you, but I get tons of adrenaline before I go meet a new group of people or I go give a talk. And so just taking a nice deep breath can really ground you, make you feel more relaxed, allow you to smile because you're gonna engage with people. You wanna have fun. You want to have passion, you want to be excited. You don't want to portray this nervous, crazy, scared, like, where's my plan? Like, no, just have fun with it. You've planned, you've prepped, you put in the legwork, you're going to do this. You're going to show up and you're going to show out. You're going to support, you're going to be amazing. And I hope you found this as valuable as I found it. I had a great time with you today, talking with you about this. Drop a comment below if you've implemented any of these in your life, anything that I've talked about, if you implemented anything from steps 1 through 3 that you found valuable, that worked or didn't work, anything, drop a comment. We want to add value to this community. Engage with me, engage with us. Networking Maverick Community is here for you, and let's help each other out. So subscribe below, ring that bell. It's what we always say, right? You want to see next week's video where we're going to finish off the 5 tips. The last tip is follow up. You don't want to miss out on that. You can also go over to networkingmaverick.com, subscribe to the blog, also the monthly newsletter where we're bringing you legal learning series and spotlights. So you don't want to miss any of those things from the community. Also, don't forget, do you feel like you have what it takes to provide e-mentorship for people online? Then I want you to be a networking maven, huh? Go over to networkingmaverick.com. There's a tab for the Networking Mavens questionnaire, the want to be featured. Fill out that questionnaire. I'd love to learn more about you, to learn how we could get you on to the Networking Maverick platform to help rise each other up, to provide your pearls of wisdom to the community. But the first step to that is filling out that questionnaire. And then, if nothing else, slide into my DMs. Please let me know how you're enjoying it on Instagram, Facebook. You can email me, any way that you can reach out with me and that I can engage with you. I want to do it because I'm here to engage, motivate, educate, and empower. That's what I'm all about, baby. That's what I want to do because we're going for $1 million 2019. Let's do it. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you had an amazing time, and I'll see you next week. Networking Maverick out. Happy connecting.